Hey, it's Nikki. I'm here. This is Ranting with Ricardo, but hey, it's me, and I'm back for another recap review of our favorite show coming on every Sunday, unless they got to take a break. P Valley. This is season 2, episode 2, episode titled 7 pounds. And, we got to get into it before we really get into it. If you are new to the channel and you like the content over here, please like, comment, subscribe, and turn your post notifications on, and share me with your people. If you're not new to the channel and you don't like the content over here, you can still like, comment, subscribe, and turn your post notifications on, and share me with your people. Because guess what? You may not like me, but somebody out there does. If you would like to get in touch with me for any type of business, you want to follow me on social media, you want to buy my elder be damned merch, or you want to bless me with a little something, everything's in the description box below, or scrolling across the ticker at the bottom of the screen. Now, here's how these P Valley recap reviews are going to go for the second season because a bitch has stars. And y'all know when you have stars, the episode drops at midnight. So expect me to be coming around like this time to give y'all a recap review because I feel like it's easier for me to do that on Sundays when I have other shows I do. I have Love Match Atlanta and Real Housewives of Atlanta that I do on Sunday, so I want to make it easier on myself when it comes to having to recap review all these shows, and I don't have to do because Housewives and Love Match, it goes Housewives, Love Match, and then I don't want to have to either do P Valley like earlier in the day or late at night, and then I don't get it out to y'all. So I'm gonna be coming to y'all with P Valley around this time. That way it gets out to y'all. Y'all can have it for the rest of the day, and then y'all probably see me later for Real Housewives of Atlanta and Love Match Atlanta. Now, child, this episode was giving. Okay, I don't care what nobody says. I love the show, and they better keep it up too. I loved it. We got some answers to some questions I truly wanted to know. We figured out how the hell Keyshawn was gonna get her ass out the house, and we got to see like a little more into other people's backgrounds, and we got to meet the new girls, and we got to see these auditions. So with that being said, we gonna get into it. Now it's time for the auditions at the Paint because the grand reopening is happening. Child, let me tell you something. These auditions was a hot ass mess. It was a hot ass mess. Okay, first off, we saw our 3 new girls, which we saw Big Bone, Whisper, Roulette. Roulette is played by Wanda from Snowfall, and that's why everybody's like, "Ooh, she looked familiar. She looks familiar. She looks familiar." That's because that's Wanda from Snowfall. I wish I knew that lady's name, but I'm not a fan of Snowfall, so I don't really watch it. But I kept hearing people say that's Wanda from Snowfall, and then Snowfall clips be popping up on my YouTube as a suggestion based off of what I watch. So Roulette is played by the actress from Snowfall who plays Wanda. We got Whisper, and I went on the actress's page who played Whisper, and she actually has some history in dancing in the clubs. So boom, we got Whisper, and she's a I want to say Latinx actress, and then we got Big Bone. Now Big Bone is Miracle Watts, and Whisper and Roulette, they do the damn thing. They're swinging on poles, they just dancing, they just giving face, they just giving energy, they giving body, they giving everything. Child, Big Bone can't throw that big ass. She can't throw her ass across the pole. Like she can't. Her ass will not flip. It won't. But we love her and we think she's very beautiful. And we think her big ass is nice. But her ass is not like her ass is not gonna allow her to flip her over the pole. So it's just a whole big thing. And Big L is loving him some Big Bone. He's just looking at her like, I want to sop you up like a biscuit. And I'm like, Big L, you ain't never on your job. Get to your station. So when I say these auditions was a hot ass mess, I mean these auditions was a hot ass mess. We had a big white dude. He with the hills. He's giving what he can give. We got one lady to put her her arms and legs behind her head on a pole, and she is bouncing a basketball with a coochie. We got one lady that set a pussy on fire, and I'm like, ooh, girl, put that out. You don't want to set that on fire. We got one lady scooting across the floor. It was a lot. Like, and once again, I told y'all, Big Bone, played by Miracle Watts, she can't throw that ass over the pole. So when it comes down to Mercedes picking who is going to replace Keyshawn and Gidget, Whisper and Roulette get picked. And then Haley walk up on stage and she's like, and Big Bone. Before Mercedes can pick the third person, she's like, and Big Bone. And Mercedes is like, she ain't getting on my goddamn pole. She can throw that ass. What's the point of having a big ass if you can't throw it across the pole? Like, she can't dance. And Haley is thinking about making money. Like, Big Bone, she pretty face, very beautiful girl. We all know Miracle Watts is a very beautiful woman. So she's a beautiful woman and she got the ass. She thick. So they gonna be throwing money because ain't there is nothing more than these men love in a club where the girls is dancing and swinging on poles and getting naked. And if you throw one, they might shake. If not even one, you throw about 5 stacks, they might just shake it in your face. Is a woman with a big ass. We all love a woman with a big ass. Okay, I love women with big asses. But Big Bone can't throw that ass. So Mercedes says she's not getting on my pole. It's a shame she can't throw that big ass. And Haley makes her bartender. And I was like, hell yeah, they gonna be buying up all the motherfucking drinks. Gonna be buying everything just to get a look at her. Now, as all this is happening, we realize it's hard out here for the Pank because they trying to figure out who the boss, who the owner. We know Haley is the owner, but we all know Uncle Clifford is the boss, and they having a tug of war over power. The poles are like what was it? The brass, yeah, the brass shaky poles are being replaced with chrome poles because that's what Haley wanted. And then as all this is happening, guess who just so happens to walk they raggedy asses up in the club? Corbin and Andre. Hold up, Corbin. I thought we told you last season don't bring your ass in this club. And what he do? He brought his ass in the club. But we're gonna get back to that. So Keyshawn, she at home fixing lemonade for Derek and Sheriff Bailey. Now, Derek's phone is sitting on the counter, and a text comes through, and Keyshawn reads it, and it's like, "Oh yeah, sorry to tell you, but we filled the manager position and all that." So basically, Derek just got rejected from another job. Now, Sheriff Bailey and crazy ass Derek, they sitting on the porch talking because they basically talking about everything that happened at murder night. Sheriff Bailey is telling Derek, anybody trying to press charges on Derek? Not yet. Anybody trying to press charges on you? Anybody trying to press charges on Diamond? Nobody can tell us exactly who started the fight and what exactly happened down the murder night, and we not trying to waste resources. So with that being said, ain't no charges getting filed. We gonna move on. And Derek is pitching he is having a bitch fit. That's what he's doing. He's having a little bitch fit. And as he's having his bitch fit, Sheriff Bailey tells Derek, listen, if I charge Diamond for assault and battery, then I'm going to charge you for assault and battery. You heard me? Cause you was fighting with the best of them, bitch. You was tussling with them. And if Keyshawn wouldn't have came and pointed a gun at Diamond, then you would have been one dead bitch. That's basically how this works out. You would have been dead and gone at the crossroads with your racist ass family. We hoping y'all was all lonely. Child, the baby start crying. Derek is still having a bitch fit. He go in the house. So Sheriff Bailey and Keyshawn on the porch talking about the Pank and everything that's going on. And he was like, safe to say, you ain't gonna be allowed back over there. So what you doing now? Hope you're not on the internet doing that stuff. Basically, he hoping she ain't made no OnlyFans and is out there having sex on the internet, making porn, trying to make that money. Which we don't shame. We don't shame at all. We don't. Y'all did what y'all had to do, and y'all continue to do what y'all have to do. And I ain't no shame in your game. I'm not shaming you at all. Make your money. I support the naked hustle. Will I do it? No, but I support you in what you do. And Keyshawn like, I'm not doing no porn. I'm not doing none of that. and she gives him her business card because she's a influencer slash pole something. We just know she likes to do flips, tricks, and kicks on the pole, and she might put some sparklers with it too. And Sheriff Bailey, because remember, Sheriff Bailey is the one who gave Montavious the call about Haley being down at the Pank. And that's how Montavious knew to go down to the Pank that night. And he asked Keyshawn, did you ever get her real name? Because they were talking about Uncle Clifford and how she probably never knew that, while the Pank is a stepping stone for a lot of people, that it would be a stepping stone for one of her strippers to become the owner of the club. And Keyshawn's like, no, because you don't ever ask a stripper her real name. That's something you have to earn. And we leave it at that. Child, I already went 11 minutes and 16 seconds. Ooh, let me speed this up. I don't want to be talking all night. Okay? I don't want to give y'all another 50-minute review. Like, it's a lot, but I don't want to give y'all 50 minutes because that's a lot of talking on me, and I'm still not better. And I feel like y'all not gonna want to sit through a 50-minute video. Hold on, let me go. Child, Mercedes Shoulder is still fucking with her, and she is trying to, show Whisper and Roulette the routine and everything. And Roulette basically calls her grandma and was like, let me go down to the not even the dollar store. Let me go to the 7-Eleven, get that green alcohol for you. So this is where the chrome poles come in. And once again, it's a power struggle because it's just like, who exactly is running things? Y'all fighting, y'all arguing, y'all not putting up a united front for the girls. It's hard out here for a pimp when you're trying to get the money for the rent. Okay? And for some people, it's mortgages on a house and a gym. Now, Haley, Uncle Clifford, Corbin, and Andre, they talking business. And basically, Uncle Clifford and Haley tell Corbin and Andre, that little $500,000 you trying to give us is not going to cut it. We want the big bank. We want the big deal, and that's 10 million. And that's exactly what the property is worth. But Promised Land is owned by a palm colored dandruff demon who is not going to give 10 million for a property for that property to black people. So that's not going to happen. And that casino not gonna happen because Uncle Clifford and Patrice Woodbine made sure that the people would actually have to go out and vote for the deal. And because Corbin's racist ass brother Wayne is the one running for mayor, like the mayor's position, they definitely not gonna vote for him because they know that the Kyles and the Kyle brothers, specifically Wayne and the other one, they don't give a damn about the people in Chuckalissa. They trying to make a buck and is basically screw the rest of y'all. And if y'all happen to get pushed up out of here while we making this money, it's no skin off our backs. And this is how I know Uncle Clifford was there for Corbin more than Corbin would ever let on or truly admit, and how good of a friend Uncle Clifford was to Corbin. Because I'm pretty sure when Uncle Clifford was like, Corbin, you ain't had no money about 5 years ago. 5 years ago, you didn't have anything. And Corbin was like, yeah, thanks, gotta love a dead daddy. So it's basically like, you ain't have nothing. And since you ain't have nothing, I'm pretty sure the person who was helping taking care of you was Uncle Clifford. But, as soon as somebody gets their money up, they show like to forget the people who helped them. And I don't mean like, oh, they was around and they would, mooching off of you and everything. No, I mean like true blue, real deal. That's your ace, that's your ride or die, do or die. Y'all go back like 4 flats on a Cadillac, tighter than a new weed. Friends who was helping your raggedy ass when nobody would and was keeping your secrets that needed to be kept when you couldn't trust nobody else. But we see how you operate, Corbin. Get your raggedy ass out the club. So they basically said we ain't doing a deal. The Pank is here to stay. You can kick rocks. Now, as that is happening, the Flyers come in for the grand reopening. And child, Haley then changed the grand reopening's date to Friday. That's tomorrow for the show. It's Uncle Clifford's 40th birthday. Child, it's a mess. Now, Uncle Clifford and Haley go back into the office, and it's messy. First of all, they ain't got no damn DJ. Haley says Big L can just be spinning his CDs, and I'm like, well, that is the most ghetto shit I've ever heard. But go off, I guess. It's Uncle Clifford's birthday. They're having a power struggle. They ain't saged the pank. That ghost of Montavious is probably still all up in through there. They ain't did a deep cleaning of it. It's a mess. And Haley wants to open the pank early because they need to start making money, or they're gonna have to take Corbin's offer, and that's not gonna happen. We don't want that to happen. So Uncle Clifford is like, with this power struggle and all this going on, and the birthday coming up that she don't want to celebrate, I'm gonna leave before I hurt you. And she leaves. Now we see Patrice should have been swallowed Woodbine, the bane of my existence, done stole where the money resides from Really B. Mind you, Really B gonna pop up in this episode. Hello, bitch, making money, doing deals, but then stole where the money resides from Really B and changed it to where the blessing resides for her commercial for her false prophet church. And I said, if y'all don't get this lady the hell out my face, I feel like when it comes to the whole mayor situation, because it once again was mentioned that Wayne is running unopposed, like there's nobody else on the ballot, and honestly, you got three, maybe four candidates who could possibly run for mayor. That's Corbin, but then again, he'll never go against his brothers. Patrice Woodbine, but we don't want that hoe. We really don't want that false prophet ass hoe as the mayor. Uncle Clifford, we know the people will turn out and vote for Uncle Clifford. And then Andre, which is the most viable bet in this situation. But we'll see how that works out. Child, we get to the house. Uncle Clifford is going through it. She at home, she crying, she turning 40. She ain't had no dick in 5 months. She's still living at the house with grandmother. Haley is driving her crazy. Grandmother says, I don't know why you don't just kill the bitch, but that's us. And when she mentioned she ain't had dick in 5 months, grandmother says, I can't feel bad for you. I haven't had dick in 15 years. And I was like, ooh, what that life like? I feel sorry for her. Somebody get her a man or something. Get grandmother a man. Knock the cobwebs off that thing. Child, Uncle Clifford is just going through it, and she ended up running, I think, to the kitchen or the bathroom and just crying her little heart out. It is just like she is having a panic, and I don't want to laugh, but she is really like having a breakdown because you don't expect to like. I don't think this is what she thought her life would be like at 40, especially turning 40 during a pandemic, or what they call it, the pandemic. So she is really stressed out. Now, the doorbell ring, or there's a knock on the door. Uncle Clifford back there having a breakdown. Grandmother goes to open her door. She was like, "What's that smell?" It's little murder. He pop up at the house. Grandmother is really happy to see him. They hugging, they talking or whatever. And Uncle Clifford comes out the bathroom or wherever she was, and she's listening to the situation, but she's also like waving her arms at grandmother, trying to get her to close the door or stop talking. And I think she probably, for like show wise, but I loved how it kind of played out, like with the cinematography and everything, and how the set is set up. With at the front door, there's a mirror, and how the mirror is set up is it can see it reflects whatever is behind the front door to the person who is standing like on the outside. So Uncle Clifford is like behind the front door, and like the mirror is picking her up, and little murder can see her. And little murder was just like, I got a message for her, and it's just like, I've been texting and it's probably not going through, and I just want to say that I wish things had gone differently, and he knows that where he messed up, and he understands that, and he just wanted her to know that before he went on tour. So now we know he is definitely going on tour. And grandmother was like, told you was famous, told ya. And then shut the door, and grandmother was like, you say you want a dick, and Amazon just dropped it off for you. And it was just like, don't we all wish Amazon did that? But then again, it's just like, maybe not. Now Andre makes it back to the house. He talking to the wife on the phone. You know, the wife he left in the unfinished basement while he set his raggedy ass up there playing video games and left a whole bunch of mess on the kitchen counter, all the food out, trying to attract roaches. Was too damn lazy to go refill her almond milk. That wife, you know, the wife who's also a doctor, who's really going through it during this pandemic. Yeah, her. He done left her in Atlanta while he came down for the fume. So he on the phone with her and he's basically like, you know, I wish I was at home. Lying. You're lying. He's a liar. He wish he was down there with Haley, busting it wide open. He's like, oh, you know, I wish I was at home with you, but you know, I was named. He was named executor of Mayor Ruffin's estate, so now he has to stay to get stuff in order. Now, as he hangs up the phone, because he notices a whole bunch of water hoses, and it's just like, where are these water hoses coming from? And the water hoses is like connected to Mayor Ruffin's house, but then there's like so many like going to different houses. He almost had a cat busted in his ass, basically, because he finds the source of the water hose, and dude in the wheelchair got a whole gun and points it at him like, hey, you just can't be walking up on people like that with your mask on and everything. You can't be doing that. And that's the truth. But they basically tell him that Mayor Ruffin would pay like the water bills and all that stuff for the people who got behind. And some people have been behind 5 months and some people have been behind 5 years. I would like to know how you got behind 5 years, but you know, times is tough, especially what I figure like in a town of Chuckalissa where it is, you know, not many jobs, poverty level is high, the education is not so great. So I could see how you would get behind on 5 years. Now, when that happens, like when he finds all that stuff out, he goes back in the house and he's flipping through bills and books and realizes that Mayor Ruffin was a real motherfucking Robin Hood. I think he was possibly doing something with the funds of Chuckalissa. And now we understand that, yeah, he thought what he was doing with the casino was great. And yeah, if a casino was to come through there and really like build it up and truly do something to help the community, that would be great. But you also have to look at the downsides of this whole entire thing, that that casino and everything they have planned for it and everything that will come with it will eventually just push out the people who already live there, raise the prices so they can't afford to live there, and then we have gentrification. So while he was trying to do something good for his people, ultimately it was going to fuck his people. But he puts in his VHS tape, and it's of a younger Ruffin and a kid Andre. And, you know, Ruffin is talking to him, and he's just like, you know, there's a lot of people in this world that will tell you that you can't do something and you will never be anything. And they will continuously tell you this to beat you down. But it's up to you to not only prove to them, but prove to them that you are something and you are meant to be something in this world, but show them what you can do. And he was like, and if your daddy got anything to say about it, you can tell him to kiss my black ass. And I was like, aw, we did not like I did not like that man. He was a pain in the ass. He was probably a product of his times and product of his generation who was possibly never going to change. But you really see that a person like that, whether it be on TV or in real life, they have a big heart behind everything they're doing. We still don't like you, bitch, but we see your big heart. Child, now we get down to Keyshawn and that white man's house and everything, and the white man ends up finding the diapers. And I was like, oh shit, our good girl finna get got. Mind you, I said last review I did, I was like, when she walked in that room, I think something happened when she came home. I was right, he punched her in the eye. Or that punch to the eye was old, but I knew she had a bruise up under her eye. And he started going crazy. He talking about, you know, where were you? Where'd you go? Are you hiding diapers so you go see Diamond down to the dollar store? Is that where you was last Thursday at 12:24? Sorry, something just, I think it was a gnat or whatever. That's where you were at 12:24 p.m. last Thursday. I said, hold the hell on. Where? Hold on. How you know? How did you know her exact location, exact time and date where she was? What is going on here? Does he have a GPS tracker on her? Oh my God, Keyshawn, you got the go, girl. He gon' ooh, girl, ooh, girl, child, he going crazy. He yelling at her. She got the baby in her arms. I think he about to hit her, which is gonna cause her to fall with the baby. I think she thinking he about to hit her and fall with the baby. And she's like, no, I didn't go to see him. I didn't go to see him. I just wanted some air. And he was yelling at me. He was yelling at me. So when he heard that Diamond yelled at her, something in him clicked. And he took off running out the room, like the baby's room. He running. He go get his phone. He goes to be a Karen and he calls the dollar store to make a complaint about Diamond yelling at her. Which is not good because Diamond has had complaints before for being rough with these people to put a mask on. Which now Diamond's out of a job at this point. Then Keyshawn says, he was lying about a lot of stuff. Like he said that you called him a gutter N word with the hard R. And she was like, I knew you would never, like, I don't know why he's lying. I knew you would never say that. Like, she's playing with him. And I can see that she's playing with him because she's starting to truly believe that, yeah, he would say this because I feel like Diamond got to her last episode because he was like, he called me this. I wonder what he calls you. And I believe he calls her a lot worse, but we have yet to see it yet. We've seen the physical, we've seen some of the verbal, and we've seen some of the emotional, but we have yet to really like get down and like deep into it to see exactly what he says to her. Other than wanting to keep her at home locked up like she Rapunzel in the room spinning on a pole on the Instagram for the people. And he's like, yeah, he lying. I would never say that. You know me. And I was like, yeah, that's the problem. Child. So he go to hugging and kissing on her, and she asked him, "How did you know where I was?" I was right. He got a GPS tracker on her phone. Crazy. He know her cycle. He know exactly where she's gonna be at the time, the date, the exact location. He is crazy. I'm surprised he doesn't know how many times a day she goes to pee. And then she starts to tell him about the tour. And then he started hooting and hollering about her staying in the house and staying in the room and not going outside because you're more likely to catch a bullet than you are to catch COVID and all this stuff. And he's just crazy. Like he is either going to child, it's like an Andy and Gary situation. It's gonna be an unaliving situation if she don't get away from him and take the kids. Somebody called him a little leprechaun, and I was like, that's not right. I love gingers, but don't call him that. But he's an angry little man, ain't he? Acting like somebody stole his Lucky Charms. So she started hooping and hollering about all this stuff, like talking about never leaving the house, wanting to keep them all in, and she convinces him to basically have Rome come by the house to actually talk about the situation. Mind you, she knows that he done lost out on his job. So she playing games with him at this point so she get the hell away from him. But she convinces him to talk to Rome or to allow Rome to come by the house to talk to them about the tour and everything else by like talking about like their dream home and having a big backyard for the kids and having a jacuzzi that can make love in. Ew, that's nasty. Keyshawn, we want to see. Derek, no ma'am. And she's just like talking all this good stuff to him, just like bigging him up, making him calm down, and making him feel like something. So Rome can come over to the house and talk to them about, the tour happening. So boom, we see Bodie and Lil Murder in the Hearst. And Lil Murder called DJ Never Scared, and he's like, "Hey, the tour is starting, so you better get ready." And DJ Never Scared like, "I ain't coming, cause I'm in Atlanta. Artists wanted me to produce a song for them. You need to come hop on this." And Lil Murder just basically hangs the phone up on him, and y'all like, "Who the artist? Who the artist? Who the artist?" If you ain't recognize the voice, if you didn't recognize the voice, if you didn't recognize the voice, I'm gonna tell you who the artist is. It's Megan the motherfucking Stallion. That's exactly who that voice, like, that's her. So now we understand what part she's going to play in this show this season. So boom, Wody like, hey, we gonna do this. nigga, little light skinned security from, you know, he he in the same gang Lil Murder in. I forgot what they called. I'm sorry, but we know they colors is red and green, like Christmas time, okay? And he been in there since '09 because he rocking Gucci circa '09. Now the look Lil Murder had is like I couldn't tell what it was. I couldn't tell if it was relief or if he was worried, which makes me think if it was relief, it's just like, oh yeah, my partner, he out of jail. Boom, we about to go on tour. We about to have a good time. Or if it's worried, it's just like, was that your boo before he went to prison? Was that your mans? And are you worried? Because if your past mans finds out that your ex mans, not your ex mans, your ex woman, aka Uncle Clifford, and y'all have something going on, is it gonna be some problems? Is our question. Because you're not finna have Uncle Clifford down here fighting for your love to this this light skinned man, okay? That's not what we about to do. Chad, I couldn't tell what that look was, but we gonna see what it's gonna be when it comes to that situation. Now Rome come by the house and talks about how he got Keyshawn another brand deal. This time it's for eyelashes. They got the flat tummy tea is a scam. They got the waist trainers, the girls love them. Now they got the lashes, and that's good money right there. Then they talk about the tour. Now Derek doesn't want her going on tour because he don't like the way Lil Murder look at her. And I was like, bitch, if you only knew. And that was my words as I'm watching this and taking notes. I'm like, bitch, if you only knew. He ain't got eyes for her. That is his beard. But okay, go off. I guess you little. Oh, the little angry man gets on my nerves. I just want to choke him out one good time. Like, I don't promote violence, but he make me mad. Okay. And then Keyshawn starts like breaking down everything. Like, the Rome was like, "Oh, I don't know about him and what his manager got going on for him, but we gonna do X, Y, and Z for the Blue Got Princess." And Keyshawn basically starts breaking down everything when it comes to finances, and she's like, "All this stuff that you're talking about, not do, does it come out of my cut at the door?" And yes, it will, because if artists didn't know, when you go on tour and you are being backed by a label, the label will front the money for the tour, and then you have to pay them back. And then whatever is left over after you pay them their money back, then that's what you take home. So Keyshawn like, I don't know if I want to go on this tour because Derek got the manager is about to become manager somewhere, and that's looking better than this whole situation. Which we know and she know, but Derek don't know that he ain't the man. Like, hold on. We know and she knows that Derek is not the manager. Derek knows that he ain't get the manager's position, but he doesn't know that Keyshawn knows, and Keyshawn is playing him and Rome like a fiddle against each other because that's exactly how she gonna get the hell out that house. So Rome and her snorting coke. We find out Big T, Lil Murder and Wody, and he going off about Keyshawn and how she asking about the money and acting like he don't pay, and Wody was like, "Well, do you?" And he like, "Fuck you," and it's just a whole big thing. And Lil Murder winks at Teak and Big Teak, and then Big Teak starts choking or whatever. And it's a party game called Killer, so it's basically whoever gets winked at is the killer. No, not whoever gets winked at. Whoever does the winking is the killer, and whoever gets winked at has to die in the next 30 seconds. But the game would be a lot better if it was more people, is basically what Big Teak said. And the only way to have more people is if Keyshawn is coming on tour. So Keyshawn texts Rom like, "Thank you, I'll do the rest." And then she's at the door and he's watching her. So we know this is all part of Keyshawn's plan to get the hell away from the crazy man, because this was a set up. This was a scheme that Todd set up. Okay? And she's doing all of this scheme to manipulate Derek into letting her leave. Now the bank is open for business. Money is being thrown. Whisper is in the dressing room talking to the universe. She's very spiritual. We now figure that out. And Haley almost busted her ass trying to come back there and dance and tell them to go and get on the floor. And then, like I told y'all, roulette takes place. basically called Mercedes a grandma because her shoulder been fucking with her, right? And was like, oh, I can go down to the 7-Eleven and get you some green alcohol. And at Mercedes station is about 5 bottles of green alcohol. Like, child, they playing with her. Now, Uncle Clifford is at home sulking on her birthday, scrolling through Instagram, seeing pictures of little murder. And grandmother yells like, hey, go take the trash out. It stank. Even though Uncle Clifford is taking the trash out, she's like, you ain't take the recycling out. So mind you, Uncle Clifford goes to get the recycling. But before she comes down the stairs, we see somebody in a scream mask outside. And I'm like, what the fuck? What is going on? So Uncle Clifford goes out. And Uncle Clifford get kidnapped by about 5 big bitches in the scream mask. And they put her in her trunk. And they just rolling in her trunk. I'm like, oh my God, don't let Uncle Clifford die. Like, please don't do it. Please don't do it. And them hoes just rolling in her car. Now back to the pink shit, not going good. Okay, Big Bone twerking on the bar, and she's not supposed to do that because you are what the bartender. Jupiter done brought baby daddy drama in the club, and what is Uncle Clifford's rule number 45.22? Leave your baby daddy drama at home, especially if he white. And Haley trying to take care of it, but she not Uncle Clifford, so ain't nobody gonna listen to her. So basically telling you may be the owner, but you not the boss. Hell, Big L, he's supposed to be DJ and he in the kitchen making wings. He just set the whole goddamn kitchen on fire trying to make them burnt wings. And now people got him and Haley got smoke marks all over them. It's a mess, it's a mess, it's a mess. Now we find out that Uncle Clifford was kidnapped by his friends. They threw her, not his. She was sorry, I don't want to misgender her. She was kidnapped by her friends. They're throwing her a prom themed birthday party because she didn't get to go to her prom. And I could only guess why. Child and grandmother helped them. And she is crowned prom queen, and that's Quing. Now they turn up, they're having a good time. And really all Uncle Clifford can think about is love murder. Basically, she ain't had dick in 5 months, she missed her man. She wish he was ready to be out and proud, and she just want him back. She missing her baby. Cue the Selena song. If you know, you know. Child, and she also having hallucinations that Lil Murder is walking, through her party, but he not. Now back to the club. Mercedes, Roulette, and Whisper, they running through the routine down into the champagne room. And the pole in the Paradise room starts swinging. Now we all figured that Whisper is like in tune with the spirits and everything. And she's very like she's into it. And she like go ask it a question. Now Roulette asks is she gonna make a big bank? Pole swing. Whisper says yes. And then Whisper tells Mercedes to ask it a question. And Mercedes is obviously scared to go back in that room. And before she can get to her question, that's when Autumn comes in and is like, I need y'all out on the floor. So, boom, we get back to the party. Now, Relly B is playing, like I told y'all, he in this episode, Relly B is playing one of Uncle Clifford's good Judies. And, he spots some trade. And this causes Uncle Clifford to spill all her little tea about her and Lil Murder. Now, Monroe, that was the transgendered woman in the prison, like the jail cell we saw with Mercedes and her mama when they got into that fight down to the false prophet church. And they get into a little spat about Monroe hooking and Uncle Clifford not liking that, and the fact that Uncle Clifford can give her a job down to the club because the men who come to throw money on the asses up in there ain't going, they ain't gonna go for it, and she could be a house mother, but Monroe don't want that, so boom, they into it right now. And the rest of the crew, what is this song? Fuck them other niggas cause I'm down. But yeah, that song starts playing and it's just like, this our song, go get your skates. We about to get on the floor. Come on, stop playing. So Uncle Clifford go back there to get some skates from the little skate rental dude. And he give him little low rent, little murder teas and everything. Okay. Mm-hmm. Now that prosthetic y'all use, I was like, y'all had a pocket for that, unless it wasn't a prosthetic. And I was like, ooh, Nico, look at you. But I was getting some head, getting some head. Start playing, and I was like, "Ooh, somebody got some head." about to get it in, and that's exactly what happened. Glypher got some head for her birthday. Hello, and dude was trying to kiss on her, but you're like, I don't want that. Don't be kissing on me. Do what you came to do and keep it pushing. You trade. I don't think they be kissing on trade like that. Now, shall we get back to the pank? And I went longer than expected, but honestly, these episodes are an hour, and maybe I could cut some stuff out, but I love to give y'all the full experience. Now, boom, we get back to the paint. Shit ain't going good. Again, they start off like Mercedes, Roulette, and Whisper start out really great. They like doing a damn thing. But the new girls aren't following the instructions the way Mercedes had it set up. They cartwheeling down the pole. They dropping on each other and bouncing up and down. They just doing flips and tricks and doing all this stuff. Mercedes even lit her boots and couldn't get these people, like, they not really paying attention to her because the new girls are still in the show, like really still in the show. And Mercedes gets up on the pole and she's really trying to do her tricks. And she gets to the main pole and she's getting ready to come down for the last trick. And her shoulder gave out and she goes falling. But we don't see her land. So the next time we see her is her laying on this table, Haley, Uncle Clifford, and Diamond. Now, I think Diamond is like very in tune with the spirits. I don't know if he practices hoodoo or voodoo, whatever he practices. He is working without touching her, but he is using whatever he does. I don't want to get it wrong, and then I don't want to offend anyone, but he doesn't need to touch Mercedes to do what he does. And as he's just like asking her questions, she's like, no, they figure out her arm's not, like, her shoulders and her arm aren't broken, her shoulder's not dislocated, but her shoulder has been feeling heavy ever since that stuff went down in the paradise room. So he's like, okay, flip over, lay on your stomach, and he starts to get to work. And the way he's touching her, like, not touching her, but the way he's moving and just like doing what he's doing, she starts to jolt and shake. It's like something's coming up out of her. So he finally gets to her shoulder and he pulls it out. He takes it to his scale. He weighs it. It's like 7 pounds, and that's the name of the episode. And he was like 7 pounds. That's the amount of weight you need to pull a trigger, and that's where our question gets answered of who pulled the trigger in the paradise room to kill Montavious. It was Mercedes. So that's been living with her, that's been stuck with her for 5 months. And we thinking like her shoulder like has been jacked up because she got thrown into something, maybe it's dislocated, maybe she pulled something. No, it's whatever that negative energy, that bad spirit, whatever that was just on her. Mind y'all need to go get some, like, if you need to be cleansed, y'all need to find the people who really do it and go get y'all a cleanse. If you you either practice it or you respect it or you were down to have it done, get you a cleanse, okay? Now, Diamond and Big L, well, Diamond opens the window and like the scale starts to turn all the way back to zero, basically letting that whatever it was, that bad energy, that negative energy, Montavious, go. And we see that Diamond kept Montavious' ring. And Haley was like, we can't have any evidence laying around. And Mercedes is scared that she's going to get caught. But it's just like, no, because the last people to touch Montavious was Diamond and Big L. And they got rid of him. And Diamond did some root work. And he was like, the root work I did, he ain't never going to be found. So you need to calm down. But Haley sees the ring. And she's like, oh my God, we're going to get caught. And you can't keep the evidence and all that stuff. And Diamond was like, I'm keeping the ring for my protection and your protection. Calm down. So we know that Diamond is really into it. And if you like really truly understand it all and you really do that, oh, you're going to be good. You're going to be real good. Now, you might want to watch out for Whisper because she picking up on everything. And it's just like, girl, you can't just be picking up on everything. You got to leave some to be a mystery, Whisper, okay? And Haley gives Diamond his job back because she's like, we need you down there. And it was like, yeah, y'all do. And plus, Diamond needed a job because he was like, I got fired and he couldn't go back to the dollar store. And I was like, boom, I knew you was going to get fired and can't go back to the dollar store because you was roughing them people up for not wearing a mask. But I mean, if we had a Diamond during the pandemic, we could have been like, this shit could have been over because it's not over. And they go out, like, they walking outside and everything, and Mercedes is just like, I moved her and her daughter into my house, and she left me. And she says that's what he tells her every night in her dreams. And she's like, you got to get out of my house, because she recounts that Haley went and got all the money and everything, and she was about to take off, and it took her a long time to come back, which and taking a long time for her to come back is how Uncle Clifford saw Mercedes on the camera with Montavious. And she like, you got to get your shit and get the hell out of my house. And she was like, oh, I've been looking, I could go tomorrow. She was like, tonight, you got to go. And I was like, yeah, because you Mercedes was like, I've sacrificed too much. And I was like, yeah, you did. You have. Now, Keyshawn, we see her back at home with the crazy man. And Keyshawn starts mentioning all the things they need to get for the kids and everything, a bed for their son, something for Regal, like an AC unit since they're gonna be in the house. And he tells her, like, she didn't already know, and like we didn't already know, that he didn't get the manager's position. So she goes over to him and she put the puss on him one good time, and she convinces him to let her go on tour. So boom, she getting the hell out the house. Now we see Haley, she at the club. Obviously, she ain't got no place to stay because Mercedes done kicked her ass out. So she gonna be staying at the club until she possibly gets another place. And she plays this song "So Lonely" on the jukebox. She goes out to the bar to get another drink or the bottle, and on the security camera, Montavious ghost pops up in the Paradise Room, and I say, bitch, why, when y'all was renovating the Paradise Room, y'all didn't throw some sage, some holy water, some Florida water, something. We can't have them damn ghosts up in here. Ooh, child, my pressure. They raising my pressure, y'all. I can't do it. I don't play with ghosts like that, okay? I don't play with the dead, okay? I let them rest. Now, the front door to the bank is open, so as she's swinging on a pole, Andre comes in, and they get to talking, and he's talking about the offer, and she's like, yeah, I'm waiting on the big dick offer, okay? Which is that 10 mil that he knows, she knows, and that whatever the company that wants to build the casino in Chuckalissa knows that waterfront property is worth, which is about 10 mil. And he was like, well, if you get the big dick offer, are you gonna be ready to roll? And she was like, yeah. So we get a little insight on her background. I think she was an orphan because she was like the first woman to ever take me in. Told me, never put your stuff in the closet, always keep it in a bag so you'd be ready to go on the next thing smoking. And she was like, I'm always ready to roll. And he was like, what is your partner gonna think about you wanting to sell the bank? And she was like, this is just a building, it's not somebody's home. And that's what her mistake is. That is somebody's home. That's a lot of those women's home. Like, that's Keyshawn's home, even if she can't come back to it right now. That's Uncle Clifford, Big L, Diamond. It's a lot of their homes. That's their safe place. If they can't go nowhere else to be safe, they can go there. That's their home. And if Haley, at this point, if she had the option to get that 10 mil, she would sell the fucking building and take off and leave them with nothing. I'm starting not to like you, Heffa. I'm really not. And Andre thanks her for you know, making him go to the funeral, and she goes to hug him, and they hugging and swaying, and the sun just peeks in through them like they the best fucking couple on the earth, and they gonna be together forever. Like, he ain't got a goddamn wife down to Atlanta stressed out because she working during the pandemic. like she like she ain't been begging this man to get her some damn almond milk. And boom, Keyshawn gets up. She kisses her baby, goodbye. She walks out the house with her suitcase, and she gets in the hearse because she's going on what? A tour. And we end the episode with Big T, Lil Murder, Keyshawn, Wodie's driving, and Rome all in a row with Keyshawn looking at the camera with hope. Like, yeah, she's finally away from him. Mind you, I wish she would get the damn kids away from him. We could all leave his ass in the dust, but we can only be so hopeful. And that was it for this recap review. Child, I went for 50 minutes, and I did not expect to go for 50 minutes, but that's exactly what I did. But hey, If you are new to the channel and you like the content over here, please like, comment, subscribe, turn your post notifications on, and share me with your people. If you're not new to the channel and you don't like the content over here, please like, comment, subscribe, turn your post notifications on, and share me with your people. And if you would like to get in touch with me for business, you want to follow me on social media, you want to bless me with something, you want to buy my Elder Be Damn merch, all that is in the description box below. And of course, is always scrolling across the screen on that ticker below. And I'll see y'all later. Bye. I hope these damn reviews ain't gonna be 50 minutes the next time I do this. But damn, the episodes is an hour. They gave us like an extra few minutes on the episodes. I don't know. Y'all tell me.